Me, Booze Hunter. This 2016 Baillieu Mornington Peninsula Chardonnay. Now look, Chardonnay, I mean, so much to answer for. In the last sort of 15 to 20 years in Australia at least, Chardonnay has been almost Madonna-like in its stylistic changes. And look, this all goes back to, in the late 90s, in the 90s, Australian Chardonnay was renowned as being big, ripe. We're talking 14.5% alcohol, big ripe fruit flavors, lots of buttery characters, lots of new oak, everything including the kitchen sink just thrown at it. It was all about sunshine in a glass, they used to say. And then in the 2000s, early to mid 2000s, the Savalanche hit. New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc pretty much took over the Australian white wine market. And at the time, I was a winemaker as well. We were scrambling to come up with ideas of ways of getting back some of the territory it had lost. And this spawned the next generation Chardonnay, which was a real throw to the opposite direction. It was picked early, it was low alcohol, it was minimum oak, it was minimum input. Some became almost waif-like with some heroin chic in terms of their appealability, if appealability is actually a word. And now being in retail, I've noticed that many of my clients are starting to say, hey, is there any of that sort of old style? Is there any Chardonnays now with a bit of butteriness? I used to really enjoy that. And there's probably the next stage of the evolution of Chardonnay in Australia, where it's coming back towards balance. People are finding a midpoint, and this wine, the Baillieu, fits in at the buttery end of the balance. Certainly not in that old school big Aussie style, but with a shout out to it. It's more in that direction than the ultra lean styles. So let's have a look at the actual wine. Yeah, look, I guess in terms of fruit notes on the nose, there's plenty of sort of tin peach, ripe pear. There's buttery characters evident, but they're certainly not dominant. It's not the main feature of the wine. And there is still a lemony undercurrent. There's a freshness to it as well. And then on the palate, yeah, it's bigger, it's round, it's soft. Once again, with just enough acid flowing through to keep it all together. But a shout out to that older style. And look, a very good wine. And the moral to this story is find what you like and embrace it, love it, flaunt it, show everyone, tell them why you think it's so good, and enjoy the wine you're drinking. Otherwise, peace, stay awesome. 2016 Baillieu Mornington Peninsula Chardonnay says au revoir.